Yo, my name is Jensen. I'm back and I've got a cute little Bladee remix that I'm doing today. I've made. I just want to introduce you to my brand new child. Oh, look at that level. Yeah. This thing has just like helped me really liven things up. It's got some great preamps. I've got everything linked in here. Bass, guitar, DX7, Korg, mini log. Soon to be a Korg SV3 this afternoon. Let's go. And yeah, it's just helping me out, make some more professional sounding real studio guy. Oh shit. Represent like I feel like Eddie Kramer. I walk in the building, I feel like Russ Elvado. I feel like Dave Pensato. I feel like Jason Joshua. I feel like Jeff Ellis. I feel like Sean Everett. I feel like Blake Mills. I feel like White Armor. Anyways, yeah, I started with this melody. And that's actually pretty simple. I'll play it right here actually. How about this? So all it really is this like A flat, E flat major second inversion, and then F minor 7, and then it's like got a. But yeah, so it's pretty simple. A lot of these really beautiful melodies are really just built off triads. It feels like it doesn't even move. But yeah, it just gave me a lot of room to play around, especially because I'm like a half decent piano player. So melodically, I was able to put in work. I don't know. Here we've got just the voices preset on emulator by Arturia. All it is to do is just thicken out the harmonies. So I think this is like an extension. Like I can't lie. I think I put some 6s and 9s on this joint. Like that's not a triad. And then I've got this DX7 thing. Texturally, I learned, this is tough. I was reading this Luca Man interview and he was talking about, I've been using the AU plugins, the AU Apple ones for about like a year, year and a half. I had a friend, Finlay, introduced them to me, and what they do is, I think they're plugins for like the audio engine in Safari. If you use them correctly, it's kind of like a gold mine for interesting textures. It takes like a while to understand the parameters because I found that it's very, very specific sweet spots with each of them. But with this one, the way that I got this sound was using the tightness knob and switching it all the way to 0. And then I just had the pitch knob at like -1. So -1 cent. So hardly any pitching going on, but all it does is just give it this really interesting texture and kind of like flattens the transients out. And yeah, I learned that from Luca Man. So thank you, Luca Man. And then we've got this melody here. Which is DX7 again. I'm pretty sure that's the same AU pitch thing. This is like bass. This is stock Ableton. Simple. This is Jensen Dahl Vox. And then this is Korg mini log. Bit of Redux, bit of flanger. Sounds so like fairy tale. Let's hear it all together. Not bad. And it's all running through EQ just to get all the lows out, which normally I wouldn't normally do that, but especially when you're doing something like this where the vocal is really like on the original instrumental, there is not a lot going on. It's like incredible and it's really cool, but the 808 is loud as fuck. Blade's vocals are super present, and all the melodic elements and beats nowadays are so quiet. They're so quiet, and so in order to replicate that kind of sound, you really like all of this is like super understated. Like once you hear where this is in the mix, it really doesn't, it's not very present. It's obviously there, but it's just like, it's not really the main focus. It's a lot of focus has been putting on the performers nowadays. Bruh. I'm fucking 21, chill. Yeah, so I'm just gonna start with this intro after breaking all that stuff down. So let's have a look. Okay, so this is pretty simple. It's just like a drum break from some guy's pack. It was originally shifted down with the pitcher plugin. Here you can see it's down 12 semitones. I'm gonna change it to 6 instead because that's kind of where I like it at. Just speaks to me more. Here I've got like, I ran it through this thing that one of my friends showed me, the Rosa Advanced Step Sequencer. So essentially what it does is you just throw a sample in on Ableton, put it on Slice, and then all it will do is just come up, you just hit random on the plugin and it just comes up with like new loops. I've kind of noticed that when you do hit random, it has like a few default ones. So it'd probably be really good to like build your own sequences out of it. But if you like need more rhythmic ideas, then I guess that's what I would go for. And what I want to talk about here is a concept called parallel processing. As you can see with these drums, you can see that there's 2 tracks kind of going on. Let me fucking get the automation out of here. There's 2 tracks. So you've got one drum track here and one here. So the thing about this one is that it's run through the same pitch thing that I was talking about earlier with the tightness on 0 and so it squashes the transients a bit. Now, obviously when you have that, it's not going to be quite as satisfying. So what I did was I printed it after doing that and I blended it in with the dry sample. So as you can see on this drum track here, it's at minus 2.9 dB. And this one is at minus 8.7. So when you hear them together, so this is what that signal sounds like. It's got a stereo widener here, microshift, God bless microshift, and then some EQ just to take out the mids, because the lows and the mids are going to be taken up by the dry signal. And yeah, it just adds a bit more depth to it. And here I've just printed, so I've just got the main melody thing just here. And all it's happening here is just an auto filter and also automated reverb. So it's just so I've just done a sweep where I've gone from like, say 400 Hertz up to like, you know, maybe 12K or something like that. And it's just done a little like, it's like kind of the sound breathes for a short moment. From there, that it does like one sweep and then it just comes from like 400 to 20K. And then the reverb is also automated here as well to go up. Yeah, and then here beneath it, I've just got a very reverbed out textural thing. So all it is just giving more atmosphere and widening the sound a bit. I don't know what that motion was. And then this is just like, so with the vocal thing that I did earlier, I just ran it through Granulator 3. God, I've been watching too much, I've been listening to too much Flume. I didn't use it in quite the same way that he does there, obviously, but it's just been in my thing. This has also got an auto filter thing going. And then I've just put reverb on it. And it reaches 20K all the same. And yeah, so let's move on to the actual, let's just play the beat itself. So a fair bit of nonsense happening here. So this drum line here was just as a result of me, I made like, so this whole thing started as just like a shitty drum beat, and so I made it. And I was just, what I normally do is I'll like put together some drums and then I'll record it out and resample it and just make it sound interesting, because for me, if I'm doing the same thing all the time, I'm gonna put a bullet in my fucking head. And I know that that's probably sounds super regular, but I'm just trying to, like, every single time I open it up, I'm doing something different. Like I don't have a certain point where I start. Like I'm just trying to find essentially with me as a producer, I'm not trying to nail going down one path. I'm just trying to have a million different paths that I go down, so I've explored a lot. And then eventually, even though I've fucked up maybe on a billion different paths, I'll have so much more knowledge of the maze itself. Does this make sense? I have so much more knowledge, like general knowledge, and then things start linking back in on themselves, and then like that just makes it grow tenfold. So it really, like, the reason I only make like maybe a beat every 2 days or like one beat a day is because it takes a lot of effort for me to make stuff. I really want to be satisfied with the work that I've done. And like I could maybe knock out like 10 and be like, yeah, okay, that was a bunch of mid. Like what? Like I don't know. That just doesn't excite me. So I always get excited from starting things at different points, or like, you know, just experimenting and fucking with things and doing things differently after day, like trying new rhythms and stuff. Like that's the kind of stuff that excites me. I'm able to really change into whatever, malleable, kind of like Jake from Adventure Time. So the drums just have a bit of compression going on. When I say a bit, I mean a fuck ton. This thing is getting absolutely fucking slammed every time I turn this shit on. Watch. And then I've just got the Abbey Road Saturated. This is just on the drum bus preset by Dave Pensado. Shout out to him, but also not, kind of really. I kind of don't like the guy's vibe. So just in terms of some general arrangement stuff, I've just got like this. Especially on the Cold Visions album, there's like 18 billion sound effects going on every single like 2 seconds, which I think is really cool. And so yeah, that's kind of classic to add like some like Majora's Mask or Ocarina of Time SFX into some beat. It's kind of cheesy, but you know. Lost following an evil star. What's the point of it all? Question me, don't question God. Question God. Got them all going swipe by swipe. As you can see here, there's a lot of stuff going on. Lost following an evil star. It looks good from afar. The brutality of war. On my scarf. Right. So here, I've got this like I've taken the sampled part here and put it here. And all it does is just kind of fill in this part of the arrangement, so I'll just play it. And it's a bunch of spots here where I just don't have the drums present whatsoever. The song is like quite ethereal, so it makes sense to just kind of have space for him to be like in the fucking microphone. After all of this, it kind of just completely breaks down like here. So in this outro, I've just got a little like, I don't know, I kind of just wanted to make like a little like lullaby kind of thing. I had a little preset on my mini log going. And I just wanted it to sound like some like lullaby kind of like cutesy thing. It's got the same AU pitch thing that I was just talking about earlier. Give it a little bit more texture, added digitalis, shout out to underscores and trans people in general. And here I've just got the pitch very, very lightly hitting that up an octave at 14. Telecommunications, this is just kind of like it loss kind of thing. So if I up it, it just kind of makes it so that it's like drops out essentially. It's like an old telephone filter. And then a tiny little bit of corruption, a little bit of bit rot, and that's it. And all it does is just add a little bit of extra salsa. Here I've just resampled it and run it through Lair, which is by the same company who made Digitalis. And it's like this really interesting reverb. I'll just pull it up now. 'Cause this thing is like, it's got like hieroglyphics on it. Like look at, like, I don't understand. Like, I'm surely there's a manual, but like all of this information is insane. Like this middle section is like, you can drag this little planet around and it turns into like different reverbs. It's crazy. It's crazy. You can pick what device, mirror, artifact, like rift. What the fuck? And then volatility, tension, drive. Like this thing is crazy, and it gives you some crazy sounds. And so I just kind of resampled it and messed with things, and this is what I got. Yeah. And then I stretched it out afterwards. But that, like, I don't know. It's cool. You know, sounds like it's like a real living, breathing, existing thing. And then I've just got this skull kid going again, but it's like stretched out. Thanks for watching this video. I've actually been getting like 100. Like, things have been getting kind of views on YouTube, which I think is insane. My last video, I had it up for a day and it got like 4 views, and I was like, shit, man, I fell off. And then I checked like yesterday and it had like 175, and I was like, oh shit. So yeah, I don't know, if you're engaging, I really appreciate that. I've been working really hard for a long time, and I'm still working hard to try and carve a space out for myself in the industry. As I said, I'm working on a bunch of original stuff. I'm playing a show very soon in February, hopefully. And yeah, I'm excited. This year is going to be a big one, visually and sonically, for me as an artist. So thank you. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you got something from this. If you didn't, shit. See ya.